Hey, what's on guys? My name is Brett. Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video, welcome back to another discussion video, kinda maybe. Because this is going to be me talking about my trip to Konami Europe. So if you didn't know, if you haven't been following on from my community tab, about 2 weeks ago, Konami actually invited me and a bunch of other YouTubers down to their EU offices in Windsor for a Yu-Gi-Oh! Community Day. Now, this was pretty much a part 2 to the December Community Day. You may have seen that on other people's channels like TGS Anime, you may have seen it over there. And this was basically an opportunity for us as content creators and for Konami to kind of get to know each other, to get to know the people that are working there, and to start to build up this relationship with regards to how we can help them, how they can help us make content, what we're feeling about the game, about Duel Links, about speed duels, what we think they're doing right, what we think they're doing wrong. They want to know and want to hear from us, want to hear from our communities as well. So if you guys have any, any feedback with regards to Duel Links or the TCG or speed duels or anything regarding to the brand, leave it in the comments down below, because there's a high chance that Konami might see this. They'll definitely watch the other videos, they'll probably be looking on this as well, and I will definitely be relaying stuff to them at future events should I be going to them. So the day kind of started off with meeting the 4 other YouTubers that were going. So we had Joe from Yu-Gi-Oh! Who covers more competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks. He does like deck reviews and discussions, breakdowns, things like that. There was Mike from Yu-Gi-Oh! Who does pack openings. That's the main thing on their channel. I'm sure they do other things, but still pack openings is their main jig. And there was Jamie the Kid 00, who I've been following for years, honestly, so it's kind of nice, it was really nice to meet him. Really cool guy. And also there was Birdkeeper Toby, who and not a Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTuber, he was a Pokemon YouTuber. So really cool. Konami kind of covering a huge array of content creators with this. They weren't just going after Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTubers, they were basically saying, hey, we want people that are passionate about the game, about games very similar to us, and they weren't really focused on sub counts and stuff. Really, really cool that they've decided to not just kind of say, hey, we're going to invite the big boys, but they're kind of getting opinions from everyone and anywhere, and it doesn't sound like we're going to be the only YouTubers that will be going to these events. They'll be rotating them out, bringing new people in, and will be a really fun time in the future, I think. So, they had like a buffet out for us, with snacks and drink and food or whatever, and essentially the first kind of half of the day, it was like a 4.5, 5 hour kind of day, and was just us all talking to each other. Like, it felt very much like a bunch of friends getting together and just talking about anything, about YouTube, about the game, about our channels, about the anime. Like, there was a lot of anime discussion going on there, actually. Really, it just felt like getting to know people. And, we sat down, played a bunch of duels. I, like an idiot, didn't bring a deck or a tripod, so I didn't really record anything. So I borrowed one of Birdkeeper Toby's decks. I borrowed his X-Saber deck, which was really nostalgic because I hadn't played with X-Saber since 2011, around then. I kind of quit the game when Star Strike Blast came out, so like just after X-Sabers kind of had their prime, I kind of left the game, so it was very refreshing coming back to playing with that deck and playing with cards that I was very familiar with after a very long time. He was playing with both a Banish deck with Eater Millions, which he managed to open up both those cards twice in each duel, so I lost that match, and there was also an Exodia Uriah match, which we did a best of 5 of because no one could kind of remember who won or not, because we were just having so much fun with the game. And really, it was just all of us just like chatting with each other and bouncing off each other and having a good time. And that's really what, it was just about getting to know each other and getting more friendly and accustomed with each other and stuff. Because as time goes on, you'll probably be meeting these people more often in community events, things like that. And it was just nice to also just talk to the guys at Konami. Like, they had like a bunch of Konami products, a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh! Products from Europe and UK and Germany and other things. They had a bunch of German booster boxes and stuff we hadn't got in the TCG over here. Had all the Duel Links merch, like the original Duel Links box and the Star Snow Globe up there as well. So it was really cool to see that in the hands of Konami Europe, and they had a really nice little content creator space set up for us if we wanted to record things. And I know some people recorded some of the matches with the Speed Duel tournament, so those will probably be up on other people's channels by the time you're seeing this. And speaking of that Speed Duel tournament, we actually did a tournament afterwards. That was like the second half of the day, was to do this tournament where we used the star decks. That was literally it. None of the promos. The Amazon's deck wasn't included. We were given a random deck. I had the privilege of using the Gravekeeper's deck, which is one that I was very interested in actually building. I've been playing Harpies on a Dueling Network, on Dueling Book, sorry, for a while now. and Gravekeeper's the next deck I want to try out. I don't really want to get down the wormhole of playing Blue Eyes, but the Yugi deck actually won that tournament, and the Yugi deck seems like the most well balanced. The Kai one can pop off if it really wants to, but the Yugi deck seems like it has the most balance to it outside of the Mai deck, obviously. And the deck I was running, you really could like feel the nostalgia in those decks. It really did feel like playing back in the day, back when the game was so simple and the rules were so not as convoluted, I guess. And that deck, all the decks really had really major consistency flaws. There was a ton of cards in there, a ton of bricks, a ton of cards you didn't want to see, and everyone was just kind of having a laugh and having fun with it. Like, there were times when when I'd be dueling someone and they wouldn't pick up a card that they could use. I think someone was playing the Joey deck, the Fusion deck, and they were just picking up like random vanilla monsters they couldn't use, and I wanted to wait for the Fusion summon to get a big monster on board to kind of out my Gravekeepers, but they couldn't because I just kept drawing to random stuff. There were a ton of times when Time Wizard backfired on Birdkeeper Toby, I think it was, so that was kind of funny. And everyone was just kind of having a laugh with this game and trying to work out how to make these decks work, because on their own, they really don't in most cases. They really do have a huge lack of consistency, especially the Gravekeepers one. That deck, the only real win condition in that deck is with Oracle. And there's only one Oracle, there's only one Recruiter to search Oracle, and only one Right with Spirit in case your Oracle goes to the graveyard. So it did take a long while to kind of get that deck to work, and a lot of my turns were set one pass until you draw into that combo piece, and you're actually able to get that combo off. It was a fun little tournament. Again, the Yugi deck won. That was Mike from Yu-Gi-Oh! Who actually won that. He won like this nice picture frame of Yugi, I think it was, so that was really cool. And that was literally the day. That was literally all we kind of did. We just sat around, played Yu-Gi-Oh!, talked about our channels, talked about the game, how we're feeling about Konami Europe. They were kind of like more of their staff kind of came in and introduced themselves to us. I believe the Japanese president of Europe, I think the president of Konami Europe was even there as well. For that day, he came and said hello, which was really cool to meet him as well. And there's a bunch of staff from obviously the Yu-Gi-Oh! Development team that do product development in Europe there as well. So it was just a really fun day of just getting to know them and getting to see where they wanted to take, their partnership with us, like how we can help them, how they can help us making content, and how to just grow this community of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players, because the really cool thing as well was that they all play the game. Like, sometimes you kind of get this disconnect with Konami, and Duel Links especially, I think you can kind of feel that, in that they don't really care, and sometimes they take way too long to address meta, something that needs to be hit in the meta. Like, some people say that Masked Heroes needs to be hit a while ago, Canada as well, and all the guys there, everyone that I met, they cared so much about the game, about Duel Links, about the TCG. Like, one of the main guys there for marketing used to run his own TCG store. The guys there care, and that's like the main thing. They really care about the game, they care about Duel Links, they care about the state of the brand. It really did show. And so, if you guys again have anything you want me to relay back to them, or any feedback for Konami about Duel Links, specifically TCG Speed Duels, leave in the comments down below. I'm sure they'll probably end up checking this video out at some point. And before I end off, they actually ended off the day by being extremely generous. I mean extremely generous, like kind of insane the amount of gifts they gave us to take with us for coming out here. Like, they gave us some Speed Duel merchandise, so like there was a mug, a playmat of the official Speed Duel Star Deck that came in, although if you went to one of the Star Deck launch events, then you'll be able to win that. There was, a lanyard, like an official Yu-Gi-Oh! Like book to like write stuff in, like a notebook. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for, a notebook. How the hell can I remember a notebook? They gave us a special edition of Soul Fusion, which I managed to pull an orchestrated return from, which not too bad pull. Could have been better, but it was a good secret rare to get nonetheless. They also gave us an early look at the Soul Burner structure deck, which obviously has Salomon Greats in, which did really well. Had a very high number of, a very high presence at the most recent Weiss Dusseldorf. And as well, like, it has Ash Blossom in the deck, so like if you kind of need that at this point in the TCG. So now I have my Ash Blossom, which means I can kind of do things in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. Hooray! They also sent out a box of Savage Strike recently, and I managed to open that on call with a bunch of friends, and they were kind of predicting my pulls, and they really scarily predicted everything I was going to get until I got a Thanos Dragon, the Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, so that really made up for that box. Really, really good card, really like insane card. So big thank you to Konami for that. And they also gave us a pop figure of Seto Kaiba, which It's really cool in its own. Then said, look in the back of it, and in the back of it was a black envelope with red shiny writing on it saying Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2018, and in there is the 2 promos for the 20th anniversary World Championship celebration event, Dark Magician and Blue Eyes White Dragon, and these cards are really rare and really hard to get hold of, so I'm going to put those in a box, locked away somewhere, never going to really touch them. They're going to sit there as collector's items, and just again, like a big thank you to Konami Europe. Don't really know what else to say, honestly. Like, just thank you for being, so humbling, so kind. Everyone there was really, really nice. It was a really good time to meet everyone in the community and just kind of talk with them. And people I hadn't known before, like I'd never heard of Yu-Gi-Oh! Before, so it was really cool to meet him and talk with him. And yeah, just a big thank you to Konami. And again, a big thank you to all you guys for kind of making this happen in a way. Because without you guys supporting me on the channel, this wouldn't have happened. Like, I can kind of guarantee that. So a big thank you to you guys as well. And yeah, that's going to be done for today's video. Again, let me know your thoughts, comment down below if you have any thoughts on the game that you want to relate to Konami. It'd be pretty cool if you did that. Duel Links videos will continue tomorrow. Obviously, we have the Hasselberry event, and that should be pretty cool. So I look forward to maybe a farm video for that, and then some league videos and like level up reward stuff. So that should be kind of cool. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.